recording, and then more people are going to be coming to the waiting room, Courtney. So do you understand that you have to let them all in?
No, can you do that?
Not once I give you control.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. Can you just stay on and I can just talk?
Sure. But if you need to screen share, then I got to give you power. But for now, yeah, sure.
Okay, so wait, I think I can screen share. Oh no,
Can you?
You disabled it. I got you. Okay, so I am not very techie with all the things. I only know how to do a few basic things. So how do I know if people are trying to get in?
It pops up a little thing and you hit the participants. Do you see participants at the bottom? If you hit that when you have controls, it'll say like 4 people are in the waiting room or whatever.
Okay, and you can take the controls back if I need you to?
Yes, you'd have to give them back to me.
Oh, how do I do that?
You would, once you have controls, you would be able to hover over somebody's name. You'll see 3 little dots and you can say like give control or make admin or what is it? Make host.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so in a second you can give me the control because I'm going to share something when we get started. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. So Beth has everybody muted. I'm Courtney Hawkins, and so if you're on this call, I am your Senior Executive Director. And so that just means that you're somewhere in my family tree lineage. So you might be direct to me, you might be under a leader under me. Either way, we're super glad that you're here. And tonight, the purpose of our call really is to just dream big, get excited, be encouraged about all that we have on the horizon, things to come. And I can't think of a better time to do this call than right now, right before the fall selling season, with all the amazingness that we have coming out. So we haven't done a call like this in a while, so I'm super excited to be on with you guys. We have a lineup of amazing people who are going to just inspire you tonight and really encourage you to dream big. So one of the things that I want to make sure that I'm sharing, I posted it in our lineage group and also in our Dream Big event, but I also want to make sure that I'm referencing it tonight, is our income disclosure. So okay, let's see if I can do this. Uh-oh, it says I'm not allowed, Beth.
Yeah. Let me make you the host.
Am I a host now?
I'm doing it right this second.
All right, so I'm going to share this with you guys. Just because we have to make sure that we're referencing this on our call. All right, so I have it saved on my desktop to share with you guys, but I just want to make sure that you guys all know too that the income disclosure, you can find this on 31 Today. All right, here, I'll make this little. All right, so this income disclosure, I hope you guys nod if you can see it. You can see it. Okay, so this income disclosure is found on 31 Today. And anytime that you're having a conversation about income with 31, we just want to make sure that we're mindful of this and that we're sharing this so that people see it, because at 31 we don't want to make any income claims or lifestyle claims. And so we know that we each have an amazing skill set to run our business however we choose, and so this income disclosure just gives a little bit of, actually not a little bit, but it gives really good information that 31 is allowing us to share with consultants as far as income and what that means as far as talking about income and what that means. So as people are sharing tonight, nobody's going to be making any income claims or lifestyle claims, and we can't. And this is what we can provide you with. So we just want to make sure that that everybody knows that this is available on 31 Today. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we got that, and then we can we can reference that a couple other times during the evening, but I just wanted to make sure that we started with that. So you guys have probably all heard the quote that says, "Without a vision, the people will perish." And the whole idea of having a vision is super important, because without a vision, it's really, really hard to stay motivated. It's really hard to stay on track as a team and as an individual, especially when there are hurdles or hardships that come up. And sorry, I'm having to let people in too. This is a lot to control when there's this many people on. So I don't know about you guys, but I've experienced hardships. I've experienced hurdles in my life, especially over the past several years. And those are times when I feel like if you don't have a vision or a strong vision or a compelling vision or a big dream, it's super, super, super hard to stay motivated, engaged, and activated. I've experienced that myself in my personal life and my professional life. So when you look back at the past year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, of course, we've all had a lot of changes in our lives and lives and lifestyles because of COVID and everything that's kind of been a result of that. And for several of us, it has also impacted the way that we do our 31 business and all the parts and relationships of our 31 business, because we haven't been able to see each other. Platforms have changed, social media, technology has changed. There's been so many things. And then of course, we've got life that happens as well. So when you think about this past year, you might be thinking like, well, maybe this wasn't really a year of growth for me. Maybe this year for me was just a year where I just kind of stayed the same. Maybe this was just a year of learning where I was just kind of thinking about what I wanted from my life. Maybe you went through some serious like life transitions that held you back from pursuing a dream. But no matter what your situation has been or where it was, tonight is all about allowing yourself to dream big and to create a vision that inspires and motivates you. And I can't tell you what that is. That's something that truly is yours, which is that's like the amazing thing about dreaming and vision is that it's yours. We can talk about the different parts of it, but it truly is something that is unique to you. And I feel like it's an opportunity for you to harness all of your God-given strengths, talents, abilities to be able to put them into play in your 31 business. I love that because we each come to the table with such an amazing skill set. And you're going to hear tonight from 31 consultants / leaders that have been with 31 for varying amounts of times and are also at different levels in the business. And so I just really want you guys to hear their stories tonight, be inspired, and start thinking about your own vision. Start thinking about how you can cast a vision for yourself in your business so that you can achieve all of the goals that you set for yourself over this coming year. And so that you truly can start to dream big. So I started my 31 career. It'll actually be 16 years next week. Can you believe that? I cannot believe it because I don't even feel like I'm 16 years old half the time, but 16 years it'll be next week. And truly I joined because I was super excited about the monogram on the kit. When I joined, I was going through a divorce, single mom. I was working like 70 hours a week. I was not looking to add anything else to my very busy plate, but I loved the bags. I loved the monogram. And my high school best friend, who happened to be my first husband's cousin, had just come back from her first 31 conference, which was probably more like a meeting because there was maybe, I don't know, 50 people there or something, because this was way back in the day. And I decided that I was going to check out the cute bags and products that she sold. And I decided that I wanted to do the kit deal so that I could get everything monogrammed with my name on it, not having any idea that it was going to be a product that I fell in love with and a way for me to harness all of these abilities that God gave me to run my own business and to be an entrepreneur and really, truly to cast a vision for myself and to run wildly after my own dreams and passions. And so that's what the last 16 years has been for me. It has not all been easy. It has come with a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, a lot of persistence, a lot of dedication, a lot of asking, a lot of hearing no, a lot of connections, a lot of reconnections, a lot of putting myself out there, a lot of falling, failing, things not happening for me. And those are things that have happened not just at my 31 business, but things have also happened. Of course, my personal life has paralleled. So over the course of time, this past 16 years, I was then remarried, divorced, all kinds of like made for TV kind of stuff going on. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things happening in my life, a lot, just life, kids growing up and all of the other things that happen as, a result of that. But over the years, what I will say for me, the relationships that I've made with 31, the person that I have become is incredible. I've learned so many things about myself. as a woman, as a leader, as a friend, as a mother, that 31 has taught me. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm super grateful for each of you. And I'm excited about all that we have in store for us over the next several seasons. All right. So with that, I am super excited to introduce you guys to our first Dream Big Inspirer tonight. So I am so happy because we have Jenny Hillenberg here with us tonight. Jenny Hillenberg, if you don't know who she is, you should. Don't bombard her, but she is the very first consultant who joined 31. She literally is consultant number 1001, which really in the world of 31 is consultant number 1. Jenny's been around since the very beginning. She's one of the most humble, graceful, kind, hardworking, genuine, authentic leaders you will ever meet. I've always told her that I'm like in charge of her fan club. It's been a little bit more difficult the past couple of years because COVID, because I can't be like chase her around. But if I could have buttons made and t-shirts and pins and all the things that like just bragged about Jenny and how amazing of a person she is, I would. She's incredible. And so I'm thrilled that she's here to speak to you guys for a little bit. And so Jenny, thank you really, truly for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
That was quite the introduction. I loved it. I'll have to get this recording so I can listen to it all the time. Well, thanks. I think you're muted. You muted yourself. We need to get you some Zoom training.
Yes, please. I would like some more Zoom training. I'm not good. I only know how to do like 5 things on Zoom and that's it.
Well, I could teach you a lot. I've spent a lot of time on Zoom in the last couple of years. Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to just share a little bit with you guys tonight. Just going to share a little bit about my story and just kind of lessons learned along the way. So I joined the company in 2003, in November of 2003. So in this November, I will be celebrating 19 years with 31, which is like crazy to say out loud. I don't know. Next year it's going to be 20. And I just can't believe that, this is what I've been doing for the last 19 years. It's just been amazing journey for me. I live in Chattanooga with my husband. We are empty nesters. We have our little dog Leo, and we love our empty nest lifestyle, but my kids have grown up in 31. So now they are almost 30, almost 25 and 22. So 31 is all they've ever known. And that's all their mom has ever done. So when I joined, I was super shy. I was scared to death to stand in front of other people in a group at a party and talk. I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that. I didn't know anything about direct selling. And I was probably the last person on earth that anyone thought would be successful at a business like this. But I jumped in and I didn't know anything, like nothing. And back then, 19 years ago, we didn't have 31 today. There wasn't new consultant training or things like that you could sign up for and learn. There was actually just not really a lot in place. Like there wasn't even a system in place to pay commission. I had to help come up with like, how are we going to track sales? And like, I asked Cindy, like, how are you going to know how much I've sold so you can pay me? Like there wasn't even a system for that. So anyway, once I got started, I just absolutely loved it. I'm sure there's some of you on the call that you can relate to that part of the story too. I love that I had a purpose because I was a stay-at-home mom and my kids were young. So that was time consuming. And I just loved that I could get out and do my own thing and have a purpose. I loved our products. They've come a long way since then. I also loved getting out of the house and meeting new people. And I really liked feeling accomplished by, doing the parties and just building this little tiny 31 business. So fast forward, I get asked all the time. There's two questions that I get asked all the time. The first one is, when you joined, did you think 31 would grow into what it has? And the answer is absolutely not. Back then, I mean, we started in Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, which is a very small town, not far from where I live right now. And there was no way to predict that this little company that was started in Cindy's basement would grow into what it has. There was no way. Even with our product line, like it was just kind of all over the place. Like we just didn't really know exactly what we wanted to sell. We had very few purses in that first catalog. And we had ceramics and handmade jewelry and handmade stationery and lots and lots and lots of candles. And so we didn't even know what we really wanted to offer. And it took a long time for us to be recognized as a brand. Like people didn't know what 31 was. And it also took years to get the word out of who we were. And this was all before Facebook. Okay. Just remember 19 years ago, we did not have Facebook and social media. So we hit the pavement. We did vendor events. We did in-home parties, and that's how we grew. But back then, no way did I ever dream that it would be what it is today. The second question that I get asked all the time is, what do you wish you knew then that you know now? So I actually love this question because I have learned so many things along my 19-year journey. So what I wish I knew back then is how we would grow, that we would do it and how big we would grow. I wish I had learned the career path and understood it and knew how sponsoring was what I needed to do in order to build a strong business and a strong foundation. I also wish that I wasn't scared to share our opportunity with others. I wish I had known, I wish somebody would have told me that it is not about me. Sponsoring is not about me. It's about what this opportunity can do for others in their life. And at some point I made that switch and I started thinking that I have a gift to offer other people. And once I started to think of it like that, it changed my whole mindset about sponsoring. I also wish that I had been more educated about how amazing direct selling is. It's a business model that can stand the test of time. Even when we have the fluctuations in the economy, this is not the first type of, what we're going through now with the economy. It's not the first time that 31 has had to survive something like this. It also gives you so much flexibility. Like you can work from anywhere, you can work on vacation. It pays really well. And the more you work and the more you earn. And I don't know about you guys, but I love that during the different seasons in my business, or seasons really in my life, I've had to back off my business some because of, for example, my daughter got married in April. So I was planning this wedding and that's where I needed to focus my time. So I can back off my business a little bit. Maybe I'm not partying as much as I normally do. But it's there when I'm ready to jump back in. And plus it's so much fun. I mean, I love just everything about 31. I just love being able to meet fun people like Courtney and just everybody at conference or on the trips that we can earn, and also just my customers. And I just love that I also have an excuse to buy bags and totes all of the time and organize my closets whenever I want to. So those are some of the things that I wish I had known. So obviously at some point, all of that clicked and I learned the career path. I learned the programs that we had in place and the incentives, and also, why I would want to sponsor. So it's because of dedication, and Courtney even mentioned this: dedication, perseverance, consistency, and hard work. That is why I have a strong 31 business. It's not a stroke of luck. I stuck around. I've been consistent. I've persevered through all the hard times that we've had. 31 has had a lot of rough times, especially in the beginning when we were getting started. And also dreaming big, which is what you guys are doing tonight. So all of those things every single one of you can do. You can be dedicated, you can persevere, you can be consistent, and you can work hard, and you can dream big. So I mentioned that I wish that I knew we were going to grow. So I've been actually saying this for pretty much all of 2022, but I really feel like that we are on the edge of another growth spurt. So the company has worked so hard the last few years to improve so many things. Our product line, I don't know about you guys, I love our new catalog that's coming out this week. So excited about our fall launch. So our product line, catalog updates, a cleaner, more modern look to our catalog. Also a cadence to our product releases. So in 2023, you're going to see that we have a normal rhythm, and you're always going to know exactly what's happening and when things are going to be released. And we're going to have almost every single month new products to offer our customers, which is going to help your business. It's also going to help with your sponsoring. So they've also been working on TOT and making that more user-friendly in our websites. There's been lots of improvements on our websites and our programs. There's a lot of improvement with our programs, the trips, AMP Jumpstart, all kinds of things. So 31 has really been working hard to get everything improved, and all of these things are starting to align for huge growth again. So I personally believe that fall is going to be one of our biggest seasons ever. I love that new catalog, the new products that we have to offer. Right now we have the $31 kit to offer, that new catalog that's launching on Thursday, the fall Halloween capsule, the holiday capsule that will be coming in October, which is beautiful. The pet line, is anybody else excited about the pet line? I'm super excited about it. Like I mentioned, I have Leo, and he's going to have all the things. I'm one of those crazy dog moms. He actually has a car seat in my car. So I'm obsessed with the pet line. I just can't wait. And then in 2023, we're going to be switching to 3 core catalog launches, which is going to benefit you. This is something that you are going to always have something new to offer people. So with all that said, I'm just so excited for all of us. I challenge you to really just soak in tonight with this Dream Big Zoom. I love that Courtney's doing this for you guys. I challenge you to get out of your comfort zone and just start sharing 31. The basics of the business is book, sell, sponsor. It's always been that way, and it will always be that way. Book, sell, sponsor. So share all 3. Whether you want to build a team or not, you have an amazing business opportunity to offer others. So why wouldn't you want to share it? Just remember what I told you earlier. It's not about you. It's about what 31 can do for others. A long time ago, someone said, can't remember whoever said this, but it's always stuck with me. It's our job to offer, and it's their job to accept or decline. And this is true for those 3 basics of the business: sponsoring, selling, and booking. Offer all 3 of those and let them decide. So thank you guys for having me on tonight. Courtney, I really appreciate it. This was really fun, and I hope that you guys have a great Zoom.
Thank you, Jenny. You're the best.
Thank you. Y'all have fun.
Thanks for joining us. All right, you guys, such a special treat. All right, so next up, we are going to hear from our very own Shauna Cruz. Are you unmuted, Shauna? Or do I have? Okay, good.
Okay,
I was wondering if I was gonna have to figure out how to do that, but that's good that you figured it out. So here is Shauna.
Hi. So first off, I'm going to bring a little bit of fun before I get started, because we don't want to forget this. So first things first, we're going to take a screenshot of everybody so we have it to share later. So I want everybody to smile, because there's 3 pages. And so I got to take pictures of 3 pages. So everybody smile. Just because we don't want to forget to do it. Okay, here's page 2. And page 3. Okay, so we did that. That's good. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to mix in some giveaways tonight. So I'm going to spin for the first winner. Now, I will say too that I had to type them fast because we wanted it to be people on the call. So I typed whatever your Zoom name is. So just know that some of you you know, if it says like Mandy's iPhone, that's who we're gonna spin. All right, so here we go. First prize winner, Courtney, you might have to write these down, is
Oh.
Janelle. Oh, I don't know how to say your last name. Is it Dupay? Dupee?
Yes, I got her.
Woo!
All right, you're getting a good goodie from me.
Alrighty. Okay, and we're gonna do a couple more of those drawings throughout the night. But
Yep.
Anyway, hi everyone. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shauna Cruz. I'm a director under Courtney from Indiana. I've been selling for about 8 years. I was just asked to share some of my story with you tonight, so that's what I'm gonna do. But when I first joined 31, I didn't really have any dreams of taking it anywhere. I was on a completely different path in life. I worked full-time job. I was an assistant manager of a large corporate office. I was like that career girl. I was climbing the corporate ladder. Like that was my dream. If you had asked me back then, like, what does success look like to you? It was being at like the top of this company, making all this money, traveling around, all the things. That's where I was headed. Like that's where my mind was at, and that's where I was working. And so I really didn't have any plan with 31. My sponsor at the time and my husband honestly kind of bullied me into like joining because there was a kit rebate going on and she needed another sponsor and all this stuff. And so they kind of ganged up on me and told me to join. And so I did. And then I ended up taking, I had no idea what direct sales was. I had no idea how to work the business. But what I did do is I took my catalogs with me to work. And I just was like, hey, I got these catalogs. I ended up signing up with this company. If anyone wants to see them, let me know. So these girls would come over that worked with me and get the catalogs and shop through them and talk to one another, you know, and then they'd bring me Post-its with their orders on it. And I would just put them in. And that's all I did. Like I didn't plan on doing anything else. That's all I did. But then I started earning, you know, Start Swell, as it was called back then. I started getting free stuff. I was like, I'm literally doing nothing and I'm getting this free stuff. So you kind of get hooked on that side. I think a lot of you will agree with that. And so although I wasn't really sharing it as a job opportunity or anything back then, like I was getting rewarded and all of my money that I was making was basically just going into a savings account because I didn't really need it at the time. But had you asked me back then, like if I was going to really do anything more than that with 31, I would have told you no. Like once the orders started fizzling out, you know, I was planning on going. However, one random day, my company called us all to an emergency town hall meeting and announced that the company was struggling financially and they were going to outsource all of our jobs and we were going to get sold to an Indian company. And so as of Monday, when we reported to work, we would no longer work for this American company that we'd all known for years. We were going to lose all of our tenure, all of our vacation, all of our benefits, and this other company, we were going to be employed for them, basically starting at ground zero, and they were going to outsource our jobs. And so I'm like positive Patty, if you know me. So although everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. I can't believe they did this. I was like, we're going to get through it. Like, we're going to work hard. We're going to show them that we had value. We're going to be change advocates. Like, we've got this. So that's kind of how I approached it. I went in like, whatever they ask of me to do, I shall do. And I will just, you know, show them that I have value. And so that's kind of what I went to do. And so they asked me if I could go to India for them and train on the knowledge processes. And I was like, you know what? Sure. Like I'm all in, whatever you want me to do, let's do it. So I actually moved to India for a while for them. I did all these knowledge transfers and trainings and things like that. And the downside to it was because I was a manager and we were outsourcing, we basically had to decide who we were going to fire every week. And so every week we were given a list of all the employees and we had to pick like, whose life, you know, are you going to change this week? And that was like awful to me. Like I would cry over every week. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be in the meetings. I didn't want to like wreck these people's lives. Right. So, but I did it. I did everything the company wanted me to do. And I thought, you know, I'm showing them that I'm needed here until one lovely day, I got the call that my job was being outsourced. So after everything I did for them and after everything that I went through, like they still basically at the end of the day chose the bottom dollar, you know, over me. And I remember being really hurt at the time, kind of more than anything, of like, it really doesn't matter, you know, when you're with a company like that, like an outside company or whatever, that they're always going to choose whatever they need for the company and their bottom line more than a person or someone's story, you know. And so that is really unique about direct sales. And so I got let go and I came home and I had no idea what I was going to do. And so I was talking to my husband and I was like, I think I just want to take some time off and like kind of find myself again. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do or what I want to do. And so he was like, okay, you know, that's fine. Well, then I turned up pregnant pretty quickly after that. And so I had all this like, what am I supposed to do? Do I go back to work? Do I stay home with the baby? I had all this guilt going on. And he was the one actually who was like, well, you have this bag thing, right? Like you literally do nothing with it. You put in a couple orders, you make decent money, like your savings account has money in it from this thing. Why don't you just ramp that up and stay home with the baby? And I'm like, genius, right? I've had this whole time and I've been not doing anything with it. So when Skylin came along in 2015, that's exactly what I did. Like Jenny was saying, feet to the pavement in a way. I completely changed the way I thought about this business. I worked it completely differently. I started sharing the opportunity. I promoted pretty quickly. And then pretty quickly after Skylin was born, I started noticing that he had some delays in different areas. And so I had to take him to different appointments and evaluations and things. And they, I guess, labeled him, I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but as sensory disorder and speech delay. And so he had to go to occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapies, all these different things. But luckily for me, because I had this business and I wasn't working for, you know, a job that I was working 70 hours a week or flying around the world for, I could be there where he needed me to be. So the flexibility was amazing at that time in my life. And I could work, you know, my business from the waiting room. Our insurance didn't cover any of it. So 31 actually covered all the costs for all of his treatments and things that he needed. And it's just so crazy that like, if you'd told me back then, you know, what it was going to be now, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But now Skylin is 6 and I have another little boy 4 and they're literally my whole world. But I can honestly say that everything that used to be my life back then has completely changed till now. Like everything's completely different, you know, from working at home to working there and all the things, not having kids, now having 2 little kids. And so throughout all of that, like my 31 dreams have changed as well, you know, depending on your season. Like people were saying, you can fit that in where you need. And so it's just nice to think that no matter where you're at in your life or what dreams you have, you can fit that in. And that just because maybe you started out with maybe not having so much of a big dream, or maybe you didn't know what your dream was, it doesn't mean that it can't transform into something as your life transforms with it. So it can really be everything you need it to be if you're willing to like put the hard work and consistency into it. And so kind of our next big dream that we have, because now my boys are going into school, so we're changing again, but I would love to be able to build our forever home. I grew up in the country and we live in town. So we've been looking to buy some land so that we could kind of build our dream home on. And I'm so anxious to see kind of how 31 fits into that life and those dreams and how it can help me get there. And yeah, so at any time, you know, if your dreams or your life or your status or your jobs shift or change, you can dream as big as you want with this business and just fit it in the way you need it to and have it, you know, mold around your life where you need it to. So that's kind of the Cliff's Notes on my story for tonight. So
thank you, Shauna. It's awesome. I love hearing everybody's stories. It's so amazing. It's just awesome to be inspired by everybody's different, unique stories. So next up, we are going to get to hear from Sammy. And let's see, Sammy, are you unmuted?
Now I am.
Okay, yay. Hi, everybody. So this is Sammy. So Sammy's also going to share a little bit with us about her journey with 31.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to preface this by there's a huge storm going on right now. I've already had to change to my iPhone because my computer kept shaking with the Wi-Fi. So if the lights go out, I'm still here. You can hear me. You just might not see me. So, hey, so I actually started in 31 in May of 2020. Okay, so been in a little over 2 years. So at the time, it was 2 months into the pandemic. I was a nurse at the hospital, so you can imagine the stress that was. There was also, I had 4 kids, ages 1 to 10. Always chaos at my house. Sports mom, Girl Scout leader, volunteer at church with the kids. Just a lot of stuff going on. And I loved all the hats that I was wearing, but they were all for everyone else. You know, I was using all that time of mine to help other people. So I wanted something for myself. I wanted to have me time and just something for me. I also, being in that season of all kids and work, you don't have, you may not always have those friendships and those relationships with other people because you're pouring into everyone else. So I just felt like that was what I was lacking, and I wanted something to be able to build that. As a introvert, that was one of the things that was really difficult for me because I didn't like to talk to people. I didn't like to just go up and meet new people. So this was going to be definitely out of my comfort zone. I didn't, really know it at the time, but God had a plan for this 31 thing. I loved the bags. I loved all the totes. I really wanted some discounts on those totes. But I didn't know that this was going to be such a huge deal in my life. I'd almost call it a God wink because of the things that have come from it. When I just went on the 31 website, clicked, I want to join, didn't really know a consultant to join under, but it was actually Shauna Cruz's name that came up when I did join. And she is just amazing, let me tell you. But the energy that she brought to my life and into this business for me starting out was just incredible. We had like an hour conversation on the phone when I first started that just really helped me to get started and gave me that encouragement I needed to get a good start. And then 2 months after I signed up, it was Impact 2020 to 2020. So that was the one in quarantine. So thankfully, our group still got together, and it was the most incredible time. The women, the relationships that grew from that weekend was just incredible, and they have continued to grow over the past couple of years. 31 has been just an incredible part of my journey, and I'm so excited for it to continue to be part of my story. So a couple of things that a couple takeaways, I guess, is that definitely when you're thinking about your business, dig deep, figure out what your why is, what you want out of this journey, and really just dive into it. And then one thing that I just kind of felt like was that as I've went all in with 31, as I've also went all in for myself. So it's just been incredible.
That's awesome, Sammy. I love it. And I'm so lucky because I got to like hang out with Sammy at conference this year at Impact. It was so great to be back with everybody and eat pickles with Tony. So it was great. And Sammy. Thank you, Sammy, for sharing. I love it. And we're so glad that you're part. And you're right. I feel like it's 31. It's amazing what it does for us each personally. Like I feel that as well on so many different levels. I love that. All right. So next up, we're going to hear from Beth Reed. So Beth, also I have to give a tiny little introduction. I'll try not to, because I could give introductions and talk about everybody all night long, but Beth has been with me almost from the very beginning. So Beth has seen the crazy of Courtney, all the up and downs. And I've always told Beth that she's like my human form of Xanax. She keeps me calm. She keeps me grounded. Beth, it's just like how Jenny Hillenberg described earlier, one of the suggestions she had for growth and strength in your business is consistency. And Beth is one of the most consistent leaders that I think 31 has been graced with. So I'm just so grateful that she's mine and that she's a part of this journey and a part of the call tonight. So Bethy,
Thanks.
you're up.
Your Prozac. I thought it was your Xanax. Hang on.
You are my Xanax. Isn't that what I said? My human form of Xanax?
I thought you said Prozac, which can
Oh no, Xanax. I don't take Prozac, but Xanax. You are my human form of Xanax.
be your Xanax. I'll be your Prozac. I don't care. Yeah. So you guys, I've been in. I hit my 13-year anniversary back in March. So that has been a hot minute. It's been an amazing journey. I met Courtney at networking. I used to run this like amazing networking group. And I was with a different direct sales company at the time. And that's like kind of how I met Courtney. I mean, really, she like hunted me down online to swap with her with the company I was with.
Yep.
That's how we originally connected. And then like, you know, she started coming to my networking group and she was always like, oh my God, you should join 31. And I was like, girl, I do this other thing. Like, and y'all, for real, I sucked at it. I was like, the worst. I was like, I just thought I was super bad at direct sales because I wasn't really having much success out of it all. As it turned out, the company kind of sucked because they went under, but whatever. So it wasn't me, you guys. I didn't suck. Anyway, but I was like working full time at a job that I loved. You guys wouldn't think, but I was a software developer and a webmaster. I was like super tech girl. I worked in an all boy arena. Like I was the only chick for miles because that is a very male dominant world for those that don't know. Which was fine. I was good with it. I was cool with hanging with the boys. It was like just a totally different vibe, right? And I loved my job and I made ridiculously good money and everything was going great. And Courtney, like when my other company went under, it finally convinced me like, just join. And I'm like, all right, well, that's fine. But like, this isn't my gig. Like I do this, you know, I work, I have a 9 to 5 and direct sales is stupid. So I'm not really doing it. It's like, I was like a little bit about the whole thing, but I'm like, yeah, the bags are wicked cute. My daughter and I would like them and we'll get our names and some stuff and it's all good. Right. And so like 6 months, 8 months after I joined, my company did something similar to what Shauna was telling us. Only they didn't just like outsource us, like hand us over to somebody else. They were like, oh, we don't really need software and web anymore. So you guys are all gone, like you're out. And I was like, yo, who doesn't need a website? Like that's dumb, but okay. And I'm like, I can find another job, no problem. Well, as it turns out, all the jobs that paid really well were like super, super long commutes. And I was not all about spending an hour and a half in the car each day, going over the bridge to St. Pete and blah, blah, blah. Because I had, you know, all these other commitments with my kids' sports. And like, I was doing the mom thing too. Like I had little kids. And so I was looking for jobs. Nothing was panning out. Everything, like as it turned out, I was being overpaid for the job I used to do and nobody was going to pay me that much. And like, that was a bummer. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want to take a pay cut and have a longer commute. Like that sucks. But I'm like, well, I got this kid, right? Like, what can I do with that? Like, can I make something happen with this 31 thing that I signed up for? And I'm like, hey, Court. And she was starting her like Rising Stars program at the time. And she's like, yeah, you need to be a Rising Stars. Like, come on, let's go. Let's make something happen. I'm like, let's make something happen. All right, I believe in you. Let's do it. And so like Courtney totally mentored me through all that. And I gave up the whole job hunt. I was like, well, this is way too much work. Like, forget it. I'll just do this guide thing and see what happens. Like, let's throw that at the wall and see what sticks, right? And like under Courtney's amazing tutelage, I like somehow managed to, yeah, don't shake your head. Like, duh, you're amazing. We know this.
Thank you.
Like I went from laid off in January of 2010. Like I joined back in like March of 2009. January of 2010, I get laid off, very end of the month, like literally the last day of the month, I'm like out the door. And by like, God, when did I promote? I think like April or May.
I don't know, but you promoted a bunch of times.
I did. I promoted to director in May. We didn't have a lead consultant back then, that didn't exist. So I like accidentally made it to senior consultant, like I didn't know what was going on, but like I got an email like when I got back from a cruise and they're like, congratulations, you're a senior consultant. I was like, hey, sweet. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Like looks good on paper, so I'll take it. But like Courtney put me in this whole program. And through that program, I promoted to director in like May, promoted to senior director like 2 months later, I would have said like July, maybe something like that. So it was like this crazy whirlwind. And at that point, I was like, well, forget it. I'm doing this. I'm not looking for no job. I'm not punching somebody else's time clock. I'm gonna do this. This is pretty awesome. I like it. And it gave me so much time freedom, right? Because I could be at my daughter's cheer and, you know, like pick the kids up from school and take them to whatever sports they have that night and sit on the side of the fields. And like, meanwhile, I'm sitting there with the bags on the side of the fields and people are like, I want that. How do I get it? I'm like, this bag? You want this one right here? Okay, well, yeah, you can buy that. They're like, no. How do I get it for free? Can I get it for free? Aren't you like a party plan? I'm like, yeah, I guess. Sure, we could do that. So like people were coming up to me and like asking me to host parties. Like it was amazing, you guys, seriously. Like some of y'all are probably like, I remember that. That was good times, right? When we first started selling. So it was like this whirlwind. And when I say that 31 has touched like every aspect of my life, like that could not be more true. Like I feel like almost everybody I interact with on a regular basis has come into my life somehow through 31, whether it's like other consultants like Courtney or Shauna or Katrina or whoever, or people that have been hostesses for me, or people I've met through networking when I'm out marketing my business, or other vendors for other companies that I meet at these vendor events that I do. Like everybody who I spend any kind of time with, really, except for my boyfriend. I met him on Facebook dating, but that's a whole other story. Almost everybody in my life is there because somehow directly or indirectly through 31. So it's like amazing. And y'all, obviously now I'm not in boy world anymore. I'm surrounded by women all the time. It's a totally different dynamic. It's so super fun. The sistership, the sisterhood, all of that is something that I never had like in my work life before that. But it's so weird to even say that because this isn't even like work life.
Trouble connecting
Oh my
to the
God.
internet.
Do you guys hear my Amazon Alexa?
Section in
Stop.
your Alexa app.
What if I unplug her? Sorry, she's evil. I don't know if you guys know that, but she's evil. Like, it's like, this is not even just work, this is life. Like 31 is so interwoven in every single fabric of my life. It's all my kids really remember me doing. I'm an empty nester, newly. I have a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old. And so this is like all they really remember of mom. Like they don't really remember me dropping them at daycare and going to a 9 to 5 and, you know, the frazzle and the crazy, and like that's not really enmeshed in them. And one of the things that I love the most is that my daughter, I can role model for her that you don't have to just like work somebody else's agenda. You can like strike out on your own and do something that touches your heart and still make a living at it. Like still be there for your family and be working something that you love. So that I'm very, very passionate about, that I've gotten to share that with her because she's, you know, 19 and just kind of striking out into the world and figuring it all out. So I love that she has that as her frame of reference. So anyway, there you have it.
Yay. Well, Beth, I'm glad that you said yes, even though I kind of did chase you around a little bit. And yeah, I kind of did. I used to do that in the day. I used to find people that I felt like would be amazing hostesses. And I would, nag them until they agreed. It was just, it's part of my charm, I think. Anyway, it's awesome. We love you, Beth. All right, so next up, we are going to hear from Stacy. Stacy is another director in our SED lineage, and I'm excited for you to hear from her. Are you ready, Stacy?
I can be ready.
Hey, come on, girl. Share us your story.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stacy, and I recently rolled up to Miss Courtney. So I'm saying hi to everybody out there. My story is very different. I'll start with, you should never move, retire from the military, and your child graduate high school in the same year. Because when that happens, you have a tendency to go a little stir crazy and start this crazy bag business. So my daughter went off to school, my husband started a new job, and I am in a new state and have no friends. And what do? Like, I know nothing. I don't know what to do. So I had this 31 bag that I toted around with me everywhere I went. And I'm like, you know, I wonder if I joined this company, if it would teach me to be a listener, and it would teach me to just be a better person. And I say that because as a military wife, you're kind of stern and you have to be kind of like on all the time. And this was going to teach me things that, I know I should know as an adult, but you don't always know. You don't always do them as an adult. So I talked to my husband and he's like, I give you 6 months. If you're not liking it and you're not succeeding in 6 months, let's just call it quits. I did 8 years this summer. That being said, I have to agree, as being an empty nester and my daughter living in another state, 31's flexibility has allowed me to pick up and go when I need to. I can work from Alabama or I can work from Texas where she is. I can hop on a plane and be to my parents if they need me for something. So that flexibility is everything to my family right now, because with everybody else working and me being the stay-at-home, people rely on me. I love the fact that I have met the most amazing, beautiful, I can't even describe it, friends through 31. My first home party was a blast. In my neighborhood with complete strangers, right? I knew nothing. I knew nobody. I didn't know if I was going to succeed. It has slowly built itself into the most amazing things. At my age, you don't come across friends often. And I can tell you that because of 31, I have the most amazing friend group. Like I wouldn't trade them for the world. Okay. I will also say that 31 has given me the courage to talk in a forum like this. I'm a talker, but I'm a talker one-on-one. I don't like talking to big crowds because I always feel like everybody's staring at me and there's things wrong. And so I get nervous. I have kind of learned to just jump in and try it, because everybody's human and everybody has the same faults and everybody is doing something different, that it's okay if I'm not perfect. So I appreciate all of those little things that 31 has done for me personally. As far as growing with 31, I had no interest, none. I was going to be a consultant. I was fine, leave me alone. I fell into a director, didn't even know I was a director. I earned the extra money, didn't know I earned the money. It was this, I was like, what is this? What do you mean? What do I do now? I appreciate all that 31 has given us individually and how we can use it to our own lives and how you can grow the way you need to and how it allows us to be ourselves. Because doing something that you're not yourself is just, it's heartbreaking. So I appreciate hearing everybody's stories and seeing everybody's faces. And I hope to get to know some of you or all of you really soon. And I hope everybody enjoys tonight's call. Dream big, ladies. Thanks.
Thank you, Stacy. I love it. So for those of you who maybe popped on a few minutes late, we're still continuing on with our stories of inspiration and hearing about some different journey moments. I'm super excited. So I did share at the beginning of the call. I'm just going to make sure that I'm sharing it again too, that we shared 31's income disclosure statement. So we just want to make sure everybody knows that that is available on 31 today, because we want to make sure that we're not making any income claims or lifestyle claims. Although we all know that 31 has definitely had incredible impacts on each of our lives. We're each allowed, given permission to dream big for ourselves, to cast vision for ourselves. It comes with hard work, hustle, consistency, perseverance. And that's something that I think that you'll hear over and over tonight in our call. And so I'm excited for you guys to hear from our next inspirer. This is next up is Katrina. And Katrina, you guys are going to love. She's a rock star. Like, Katrina rocks out those potties. This girl is like, if I have a question about a Facebook party, or I have a consultant who has a question about a Facebook party, I'm like, you need to talk to Katrina, because that girl can rock them out. So anyway, I adore this woman, and I know you're going to love to hear a little bit about her story. Katrina.
Hello.
Hi.
First and foremost, I want to say apologize for this hot mess express. I'm still in work clothes, but I'm here. So I I did not pre-write something up. I'm not all organized like Shauna, although, I have a little bit from everybody today. Okay. First, I want to talk about Shauna, who got bullied into 31. I have to say that Shauna has been my number one bully in 31. She has bullied me into all the good things. She has bullied
Learn
me
from the best.
she has bullied me into doing all the things that I need to do for my business. And so that's amazing. I was listening to, I'm trying to remember who else we went in order there. Beth, I just love Beth. But there was somebody else who said something I was going to jump on it, but I'm just going to let it go. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my 31 journey. I joined 31, and when I joined, I had planned to just get a discount. I had been buying 31 for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. And I had several people say, oh, you should join. And I'm like, nope, that's not for me. I have a full-time career. I'm a physical therapy assistant. I'm very busy with that. And at the time I was the single mom of a special needs child. I have an autistic daughter who is now 13. And so I don't know, at one point in time, my sponsor, Patty, said to me, you should really join. There's this new $15 kit. Or excuse me, dollar kit. I don't know where I just came up with 15. She told me there's this dollar kit to join, and I'm like, nah, it's not for me. It's not for me. And so I got talking and thinking about it, and I'm like, for the last few years, like I said, single mom for 5.5 years. So I was looking for other sources of income. I was working from home. I was doing different things, and I was like, well, maybe I could do this. But then I was like, I'm just going to do it for a discount. So that was where I was going with it. That was all I needed. So I joined for $1. I said, what do I have to lose? It's $1. I didn't get the kit. I didn't need any of that stuff. I honestly had everything in the kit in my possession. So it might not have been current prints, but I had a large utility tote. I had a thermal. I had a cinch sack. I had all the things, and they were in my possession. So I was like, if I decide to do something with this, I can just show them what I have. Like, I don't need a kit. So I joined, and of course, like somebody else said, jump starts. They were jump starts back, or they were start swells back then, which is now today's jump start. And the top jump start or top start swell was like the one thing I wanted. So I was like, okay, I'll throw a launch party. Threw a launch party, made some money, had a couple people come to me and say, Katrina, I want to book a party. And I'm like, okay. So when I joined this business and I agreed to do it, I said, I'm not taking any time away from my daughter. I'm very busy. I work, and I don't want to go to people's homes and do all the things. Like, that's just not for me. So I agreed to Facebook parties. I was going to be 100% online. That was the only way I was doing it, period. And so I started with Facebook parties, and next thing you know, I did like, I hit all my start swells in my first, I don't know, like 60 days or something. So from there, I just kept going. I did not plan to promote. I did not plan to make a business out of this. I did not plan to sell bags at all. But I will, I want to make sure that I don't say anything income related to get us all in trouble. But my lowest party, or my lowest month ever, was well beyond enough to qualify me for per month. Okay. So I just kind of exploded with it. I started with a sponsor who was strictly, she didn't mean to sponsor me. She kind of pushed me, and I think she pushed me because someone pushed her to push somebody. And she really promoted beyond her very quickly. And she tried to help me the best she could, but she was like, you know more than I do at this point. And then I rolled up to a director who helped me along the way, answered some questions. And from there, sorry, I've got a baby running around. From there, I just kept going and kept going. And here I am. I am now a director. I've been with 31 for 6 years. In that time, I have gotten married. I had another child. Sorry, I'm trying to, my screen is messing up here. I am now no longer a single mom, and my biggest goals are to, sorry, got a bug flying around too. My biggest goals with 31 are to build a house. We were supposed to build a couple years ago and COVID happened. And so that hasn't happened. So we want to build a house and get some money saved and pay off all our debt. So we're working towards that. Constantly, I am seeing some cash build up. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of fun. I've made a team and they are awesome. I've met a million amazing women. My very first conference, my director that I rolled up to said, Katrina, you need to go to conference. And like the year before I missed it and I regretted every second of it. And so I went to conference and then she left 31 before I made it to conference after I registered. And so I go to conference and I'm blind. I know nobody. And so Courtney comes to me and she's like, oh, you're on our team. And we just became best friends. And then it's just been great. And then Shauna came to me and said, Katrina, I've been stalking you and we need to be friends and you need to be my accountability partner. And so from there, I met Shauna and I met her whole team and I met Courtney's people and I met Beth and I met Celeste and I met all my amazing 31 friends. So it's been such a blessing to me in so many ways. It got me through a financial hard time. It's gotten me through over the last 2 years. I've had a baby, so I was out for 8 weeks. And I had 2 different surgeries. So I had to be out of my full-time job. And I have been able to work my business harder and book more parties and be able to support my family and not have anything cut off in the process during that time. Because when you have a 31 business, you can just work harder. You know, when you have an hourly paid job, you get a set pay all the time. That's what you get. And then you get this job like this, where if you need to work harder, you just bust your butt and you do it. So it's been amazing. But I think I hit all the topics. I just started rambling. I'm getting distracted and all squirreled over here. I hear all the things in the background and I'm seeing all the faces pop up on the screen. But I
You're
think
so
I
cute,
covered it
Katrina.
all.
We love you. I love you. And I'm so proud of you. You rock it. And this girl, I'm not kidding you. You guys, if you are engaged in our sistership group at all, you'll see Katrina's name come up all the time because she's like, yeah, rockstar party girl. Love it. We have another one of those speaking in a few minutes too, Emmy. But before we hear from Emmy, I have a very special speaker inspirer for you guys. So I saw somebody post earlier that they might cry on the call tonight. And I think there's really only 2 people who might potentially make me cry on the call tonight. And this next person who's speaking to you, she might be one that makes me a little teary. So you guys are going to hear from my friend Casey. So I've actually known Casey now for like I feel like it's been over a year. I don't know, but I feel like I've known her my whole life. The first time I met her, I knew I loved her. We actually worked together in my World of Speech Language Pathology. Casey can tell you what her job is and maybe how we connected. But you know, as Jenny alluded to, and for those of you guys who've been listening to all these different people who've been on the call, and for those of us who've been around for a while, I mean, for me, my 16 years at 31 next week, but there's been a lot of up and downs in the business. And over the course of my time in 31, I have definitely shared the opportunity and I have welcomed so many consultants onto my team, and the sistership is unbelievable. I've also experienced a lot of loss, a lot of consultants who have come on and left. And sadly, sometimes that takes friendships with it too. And every now and then there's somebody who inspires you to want to do better and to be more. And Casey coming on board has inspired me to want to be a better leader for all of you guys, because I adore her and I am committed to her success, just like I am to all of you. So anyway, she's fabulous. She literally just joined like 2 weeks ago, for real. Just got her $31 kit. So I'm going to let her share with you guys. Casey, are you unmuted?
I am unmuted. Yes.
There she is.
You're so sweet. See, Courtney, why do you do this to me? You can't do
Sorry,
this to
I wasn't
me.
gonna do that to you. Sorry, but I'm just so glad that you're on tonight.
All right. So my name is Casey. And unlike Beth, Courtney didn't really have to chase me too much to start this business. She didn't actually do much besides maybe like hit me with a bag or two as she's walking out the door. And I'm like, oh, like, do you need some help? You know, she's coming in with all of her bags. But no, so I actually found 31 through Courtney, all of her bags that she would have. And I was just so impressed with the personalization, and everything that it stood for. She had to talk about it once to me and I was like sold, you know, and not even in that way. I was just so excited again, like just the same excitement that you might have from me being excited about it. That's how I felt in my life again. I was like, wow, this is really cool. These are going to sell themselves. 1, 2, I love them. I mean, 3, this is just like the easiest job in the world, it seems like. And it's the perfect timing. It's definitely the perfect timing for me. So I know Courtney through work. So I'm a behavioral therapist. I have 1 client that I work with full time. So it definitely is a lot, but that's my little buddy. So I see Courtney once a week with him, but yeah, so she definitely, was such a good kind of like spokesperson for 31. She kind of came in and she was like, well, this is, you know, new in your world. So this is why it's important. This is why it could work for you, you know? And I was like, that clicked, you know, I've never seen this before. I've never heard of it before. I've never seen it before. Like any, personalizations that I've seen have been through Etsy. That's just what I've gone through to personalize like a bag or anything. I don't have to do that with 31. So it's perfect. I am moving very shortly. I'm moving back home to Rhode Island. I am newly pregnant. So,
So fun.
so I'm gonna cry. It is the hormones, they're kicking in.
It's the
Whatever.
hormones, it's the
I'm over
hormones.
it. So yeah, so I'm about 4 months pregnant with a healthy girl. So stars are aligning. It's the right timing for me. Back in Rhode Island, unfortunately, about a month ago, my company now that I work for as a behavioral therapist is taking out that Rhode Island business. So I can't work there. Basically, I can't keep that job. So 31, I can do from home with the babe. I could do at the beach with the babe. I could do, you know, I can pretty much do it wherever I want. And that is so me. I grew up pretty much not having something that I wanted to do in terms of like an education. I was very much sports, very much a tomboy. I shopped in the boys section, at Target, at Walmart. I mean, my parents probably were a little worried, maybe, I don't know, but look at me now, Mom. So, I mean, I just wasn't into the girly thing. So it's actually interesting too, that it came full circle. It partly could be from my baby. It partly could be from her, but no, I'm tomboy, girly girl. So anyway, so I grew up like that without having a real path. Sports was my all, was my everything. You know, my mom always instilled in me that I could do whatever I want, but she was very much business, very much hard, more like my father figure. I did have an amazing dad. I do have an amazing dad. But yeah, so I grew up that way and not really having an outlet to think about an education or what to do with that or career, and made it through high school, went through college, still kind of lost. And I did do a direct sales company before. I was not that good at it. I think because I didn't truly believe in it. And just from experience, like life experience, if you're not believing in anything, you're not going to be good at it. You're not going to want it. You're not going to do better. So yeah, so 1, I'm excited about the product. 2, I'm excited just about the sisterhood. I mean, Courtney is so amazing. She just is like, what you see is what you get, you know, and she's just awesome. So to have that like energy and then that portrayed in me, I was like, I'm in, let's do it. So yeah, so I'm very, very excited. It's been like a little bit of a slow start for me. Again, 10 days ago, I got my kit, but but I have 2 parties this week and then I'm going on a cruise next week. And I'm already like, how can I get Wi-Fi on the cruise? Like my boyfriend just told me like, you're not gonna be able to get Wi-Fi. I was like, oh, no, like we're getting Wi-Fi on that cruise. Like while you're drinking with the package that you bought, like I'm gonna be like on some chair, like doing 31. Like I love just getting all the graphics together. Everything is so exciting to me. Everything is just like, it's full circle, came at the perfect time. Love it. So happy.
Awesome. I love that. And I love, really wanted you guys to hear from Casey just because she is such a special, amazing, incredible person. But also because, you know, I think too, that sometimes in our businesses and in our lives, we feel like, oh gosh, you know, and I know there's been periods of time for me too, where I'm like, oh, do I offer the 31 opportunity to somebody? Does anybody really want to sell anymore? Like, I feel like I'm like the old grandma with 31, like, do people really want to be with the 50-year-old, you know? And I'm like,
Yes.
oh gosh. And then there's like fun, happy, cute, engaged people who are so excited about 31. Like Casey has that same excitement and drive and energy and desire that I had 16 years ago. I wasn't so sure that existed anymore. And it exists. And
It does.
and not that there's a million Caseys, because there's really just one Casey, but there are so many people who are looking for an opportunity, looking for something that, just like with Casey, looking for a side gig that it's just going to fit into their life. So I just felt like she is inspiring me. And I hope that it not only inspires you guys, in your own personal business, but also to talk about 31 and to maybe, like, I carry all my therapy stuff is all 31. Really hit people a few times with your bags. It makes it get attention. Not really.
You took out a door today.
I did. I take down like a baby gate and a door when I walk.
You took down the baby gate.
I did. My bag hits everything when I'm doing therapy. All right. So thank you, Casey. All right. Next up, thank you guys also for hanging in. And we are having some drawings. So don't hang up because we've got more good stuff to come. And I know it's a little long, but there's just too much stuff to pack into tonight's call. So we have one more, a leader. You're going to hear next from Emmy. And then we have a special guest from the home office and then a fabulous video from Cindy. So hang tight with us. But next up is Emmy. And Emmy is another rock star seller, like rock star. And I recently just tried to connect Emmy and Katrina because the two of them together are gonna it's like gonna be a crazy explosion. So Emmy, we're ready for you.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Emmy. So I joined 31 in January of 2015 because I loved the product. So I really thought it was going to be just a kidnapper. But as some of you already said, you've had that start swell dangled right in front of you. I had that dangled in front of me, and I love carrots. So of course I chased all my carrots and got all of those start swells. And really, if they're going to give me a carrot, I'm going to go for it. So a few months in, I wasn't sure where I was going with this business, but people started talking about this thing called conference, which now we know is Impact. And I kind of, in my head, said, why in the world would I go to a conference to learn how to sell a bag? That'd just be a waste of money. But little did I know, it's totally not what it is. So God bless Dottie Balia, that's my upline director. She offered a wonderful incentive that year that the top 3 sellers on her team could go to conference, stay in her room for free. So all I had to do was pay for conference. So again, carrot, I'm gonna go chase it. So I was able to earn a spot in her room and go to conference for free that year, just paying for the conference fee. But what I didn't know is conference isn't just about selling a bag. It's about an amazing sisterhood that I knew nothing about. I live in a little tiny college town. Back then, I didn't like to drive outside my college town. So when I earned a spot in her room, I had to figure out how I was going to get myself 4 hours away to Columbus. So I reached out to our team, and Valerie Cardinal offered to let me ride with her. So I decided I was going to go drive to this stranger's house, ride 4 hours with her to conference, leave my car and my car keys there with her husband, and hope my car is still going to be there whenever I come back after the long weekend. But what is amazing, again, is that sisterhood that you just you don't know unless you're a part of it. And Valerie and I hit it off right away. We chatted the whole way to Columbus, shared our life stories with each other. Her husband detailed my car while I was gone too. So I love to drive to conference with her and just hand him my keys. So, that's the pink bubble. So when you talk about that pink bubble, if you're a newer consultant, you haven't experienced that, I can't wait for you to experience that pink bubble. That's one of the reasons I love 31. One of the reasons I stay with 31. Because it's not just about selling that bag. It's these friendships that you never knew that were out there. You never knew you needed. And if you didn't have 31, you would so be missing something from your life. So for me, whenever I went to conference, I listened to not just the speakers who were talking about things that deal with personal issues, maybe instead of just a bag. I also loved hearing the inspirational speakers and how they promoted up through the career path. And I started to dream a little bit bigger about maybe becoming a director. So that took me a little while. So in June of 2018, I actually promoted to director. But the thing about 31 for me is when I started is it's something I didn't know I needed. So at the time when I joined 31, I was a stay-at-home mom with 5 kids and I homeschooled them all. So I needed to find out who Emmy was again outside of my family, and 31 really gave that to me. And that piece is more valuable probably than anything else about my business, because I found a passion for meeting new people, making friends outside of my circle, friends with my hostesses and customers, and it just really changed my life. 31 also blessed our family. My husband has a great job, but it just paid for what we needed. It didn't pay for anything extra. So our family had never been on a vacation. So about 6 months into my 31 journey, I was able to pay for a beach vacation for our family. And that was something that we had never dreamed of, thought that was going to be possible. So that's a little seed, a new dream that came from 31 was to maybe pay for vacation every single year. And working my business really hard, that's something I've been blessed to be able to do. We've gone to the beach, we've gone to the mountains of Colorado this past year. We've even done staycations where we do home improvement projects. But that's something I could not have done without 31. And again, it's, not typical, of course, but FCA disclosure, you really have to work your business hard, but big dreams are possible. Something else that 31 has done for our family is it allows me to say yes to the extras. So again, 5 kids, it's hard to say yes to a bunch of different sports for them, but because of 31, we were able to enroll our kids in the YMCA swim team. At one point, all 5 of them were competing, so we really never left the stands at all and sat there and sweated the whole time. But because of 31, we were able to watch our kids go on. Our Lindsay and Isaac both have competed at YMCA Nationals, and they went on to swim in college. And if we didn't have the extra money from 31, I never would have started those swimming careers, and that would be a line that I probably never would have seen them be able to do. Our youngest daughter, Abby, is Gumby. At the age of 4, she was climbing the I-beam in our basement. And so we put her in a gymnastics class, just a local rec league. And we could see she needed something more, but we didn't have the means to do anything about that. So I remember my husband and I praying and saying, God, our daughter has this ability that we can't do anything about it right now, but you're going to provide a way. We're going to trust you to provide a way. And a year into my 31 journey, we were able to actually take Abby to a competitive gymnastics team and sign a contract with them so she can compete, which is something she does to this day. And I'm so thankful for that. She's a level 8 gymnast now. So she lives and breathes gymnastics. And so another dream, our oldest daughter recently got married, and 31 allowed me to be able to dream big about helping pay for that wedding, even whenever the wedding was upped and we found out her to-be husband was going to be deployed in 2 months, and we had to scramble and have a wedding come off in just 2 months. So that was kind of crazy, but again, I really worked my business hard, and that's some of the flexibility of 31. You can really work that business hard when you want to, and you can kind of sit back whenever you need to. So I could work hard up until that point and then take time off, to celebrate my daughter and her wedding, or vacations, it's flexible. So you can take the time to be able to go on vacation. And I love that piece about it. So the other piece that I really love is the incentive trips. So my husband and I got married at 19 and never went on a honeymoon. So all we had known was the first vacation that we had with our family. But because of 31, we were able to go away just by ourselves. And that's something I never would have done. I never would have spent the money and splurged it on just us. But as a couple, it was a fantastic time just to reconnect. Because of 31, I have an amazing team that I am so blessed to know. I love to celebrate their wins, big and small, and love that I can watch and see how 31 is changing and shaping their lives and making a difference in them. And as you'll notice, my dreams have changed over the years. So like 31 financially has done so much, and there's always a different maybe financial goal, but there's also a goal of connecting with people. For me, one of the newer dreams that I started to have, and that was in 2020, December 2020, I remember I was taking a look at my sales because I'd gone through that Accelerate program, the pilot one, and I could see my sales were really taking off big time from that training. And I started to dream about maybe earning Leadership Circle. So I was really working my business hard. And that year I missed Leadership Circle by just around $200, which was devastating to me, but it really lit a fire under me to work harder the next year. And this summer, I was so excited to find out I was in top 10 of sales in the US, which totally floored me. I knew I'd worked really hard, but I had no clue that I had achieved that. But all that to say, big dreams really are possible whenever you put the hard work in. So I would challenge all of you. I mean, your dreams can look totally different. They don't have to be big and grandiose. It could be something simple like you want to take the kids out for ice cream every week. Maybe you want to bridge the gap in that grocery bill because the prices keep skyrocketing. Or maybe you're just paying a car payment or a house payment, whatever that may be. Maybe you're putting money away for a vacation or college fund. I would challenge all of you, write your dreams down, put them on paper so you can see what it is you want to work towards, and then make a vision board of that, because that's really going to inspire you to work harder, and then make a plan, because I know you can do it with hard work.
I love it. Thank you, Emmy. So awesome. I love to hear everybody's different journeys. It's so fantastic. And I think you're right. Anytime that you think about vision, I think you have to connect it to the work that has to happen to make that vision a reality. And Emmy has definitely done that. So yeah, I mean, top 10, you guys in sales in the company. Hello, you guys, that's like fantastic. That's a lot of bags. That's amazing. So awesome. So yes, lots of hard work, persistence, dedication, and people from all over the country at all different stages of life, which I love that. All right, so our next up actual last live speaker, inspirer, is the fabulous Hope Short. So this is another one that I feel like if something was gonna make me teary-eyed tonight, it would be Hope. So Hope was kind of like my sister, SED, would we say sister? Yeah, because we were both actually recruited by the same upline. So Hope started, I can't remember exactly. Hope, you'll have to fill me in on when you started, but I feel like we were right around the same time. Maybe it was a teeny bit before, but I don't think too much. And Hope was an SED with the company, and just recently she has moved over to the home office side, and she's the first leader consultant, I think, really, to go from being a consultant leader to then also, going to the home office. And so I love that because she has a perspective that is so unique that nobody else has. And so we're super, super lucky to have her. Hope was at Impact this year at conference. We were able, as SEDs, we were able to submit if we were getting together with our team one night for dinner. And to tell you the truth, I was very anxious going into this year's conference after not having, live face-to-face conference in a while, and kind of just, being at a different stage in my own life. Personally, I was like, I really want to go to Impact, and I'm hoping that this really is going to like inspire me and kind of maybe kick me in the butt a little bit. And it was all that, but Hope coming to our dinner was huge for me. She said a few things to me that night that really, like, sometimes you have somebody says something to you and it like clicks in your brain and you're like, oh my gosh. Hope did that for me at Impact. And I I love that. And so I am just so grateful, so excited that she's here to share with you guys tonight. So Hope.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank
Thanks.
you. So, since Katrina apologized for her hot mess, I'm going to. I literally have no makeup on and I have bounced from Zoom to Zoom all evening. And after I finish one, I'm like, okay, I'll run and get ready really quick. And then the next one starts. So you're just getting me after a whole day of 31.
You look
So-
beautiful. You look beautiful.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I will tell you that this is like one of my favorite things about this business are these kind of calls. And so I am so happy that I have been able to sit and listen to your stories. And I don't want to take up a ton of your time, but I'm so thankful that I've had an opportunity to pop on here and just share a little bit. So I'm actually going to share a little bit about my 31 journey and kind of share a little bit of perspective around sponsoring and what that looks like to dream big in the company. So if you will stay with us a little bit longer, I would love to be able to help wrap up this conversation with you all tonight. And I know that you have a video from someone kind of special too. But as Courtney said, I joined in 2007 as a consultant. So super early in the business. And I was a brand new 20-year-old wife and mom. I joined as a baby, I feel like, not knowing absolutely anything about the business. I was a newlywed, as I said, and had a new baby girl in my life that was born with some health issues. And so you already know what it's like to be young and married and unsure, but then you add being a parent to a sick child. Those first couple of months of her life were so traumatizing and so draining because we didn't know what was wrong with her. And so when we finally figured out what was wrong, she was 6 months old and like $50,000 worth of medical bills later. Thankfully, she had surgery and was corrected and all was well, minus the fact that you have to pay the bills. So I was working full time. My husband was working full time, and we were really struggling to keep the bills within the hospital and not let them go to collections. I don't know if you've ever had a lot of medical bills, but they're not the most flexible people in the world to work with. And so they kind of let us know early on that we had a very short payment plan run. And I just started scrambling and panicking, like trying to find another job. And I never intended to ever end up in direct sales. I was familiar with it. My mom did Mary Kay for years, and I told her all throughout high school that I will never do direct sales, that I think that looks so not fun to go to strangers' homes and just pull out a bunch of products and hang out for a couple hours and then leave. So when I decided to pursue direct sales, it was really because nobody else lets you choose your schedule. And every time I thought about having to leave my daughter or leave my family, I just thought, well, this is terrible. So I called my mom one night and I was like, I think I'm going to join this company. And she said, please don't do it. You're going to waste your money. And me, being the wonderful daughter I am, immediately was like, well, let me go prove you wrong. So I joined 31 with $119 that I did not have, and really hoped for the best to be able to pay this medical payment plan. My payment plan was $313 a month. I didn't have that. And so we were scraping. And so I thought if I could just do a few parties a month to pay this, then we'll be golden. So a few months into the business, didn't even pick up my kit. So I'm one of those people that were like, well, this could be fun, but then I didn't do anything with it because that required action and wasn't in the mood for that. But it came push or shove, and I realized that nobody else was going to do it for me. So my business launched kind of strong, had no clue what I was doing, had never seen the products. But I was excited. Like I was having the time of my life. Like many of you, when you're a mom and a wife or, have another job, like you just start to lose your identity a little bit and forget what it feels like to just step in and be you. And with every party I did, I just felt like I was being a little bit more of myself and finding confidence that I didn't even know that I needed. And so I was loving the business. And about 5 months in, I got my first the first largest 31 paycheck that I had made to date. And I tell this story and it sounds so corny, but it's like my moment where I'm like, I didn't find 31. 31 found me. But it was in December of that same year that I signed up. I had went to the mailbox and pulled out a notice from the hospital. And you guys know, like when you have medical bills, they come from the labs and anesthesiology, and like you think you've got them all, and then they all just start showing up from every department known to man. And I opened up one that I had apparently missed setting up a payment plan on. And it had a huge stamp on the front of it that said it was going to collections December 31st. And it was like a little over $500. And I just stared at it and I just started sobbing because I thought, this is my daughter's first Christmas. She's healthy. Like, I was so excited that I felt like we were gaining a little bit of traction. Had no clue how I was going to pay for that. And we'd worked so hard to keep the bills from doing that. Well, that was when we got paper checks from 31 too. That seems like dinosaur days ago, but I got to the end of that stack of mail and my 31 check was in there. And I think it was Katrina that said that she wasn't even, or no, maybe it was Stacy. It was Stacy, I think, said, didn't even know like where this money was coming from or how I was earning it, or, you know, how much I was going to earn. I wasn't calculating that, you know, I was just selling bags. And I opened up the paycheck and it was exactly 1 penny more than my hospital bill. And so, like, even in that moment, I was like, God still provides, you know, like he's still there. Even when you're just not certain, the penny was enough to remind me that he still covered me. And that was like my aha moment with 31. And so I just want to share with you that this journey, being a consultant, I would have celebrated, I have to be careful the way I say that now, I would have celebrated 15 years with the business last week as a consultant. And, you know, while that story of inspiration and the financial benefit that 31 had on my life, it was absolutely nothing to the other parts of my life. And so I don't share this part of my story lightly, nor do I share it a lot publicly. I'm becoming more brave in that, but I have always been transparent to say that out of all the things that 31 has done for me, you know, we can talk about the income disclosure statement and we can say, hey, you know, just be mindful that not everybody's business is equal and you get into it, what you get out of it, what you put into it. We can talk about the trips and the vacations, the income benefit, but I actually want to share perspective with you that's free. And it is the benefit of impacting someone else's life through the gift of 31 in a way that you can't buy or you can't see all the time on paper. I grew up in an abusive home and had a really traumatizing childhood. There's a side of it that I'm like, gosh, I grew up in church my entire life, and my dad was actually a pastor, but my home was filled with so much turmoil and abuse and pain. And so the reason that I got married and started a family so young was to escape that life. And so the fact that I left that life and then went straight into 31, I not only started the business as a mom and a wife that was broken, but also as a young girl that was completely lost. And joining 31 to benefit the financial end of my life was what I thought that I joined the business for. And what I realized is that God had like this entirely different plan for me, because what I realized was that he was using 31 as a vehicle to get to my heart. And a few years into the business, as I stepped into leadership and started meeting so many amazing women, I realized that this journey was healing me. With every party that I did, I was healed a little bit more whole. We would go to business retreats. And by the way, I've been to so many conferences and retreats, Emmy, and I don't know that anyone has quite taught me how to sell a bag specifically, but they've covered everything else. And I have met amazing women that don't even know each other, but sit and cry and pray together, or that share their struggles in finances or their marriage or their kids. And it was like after every single trip, after every single call, after every party, every event, I was just stepping into who I felt like God had created me to be. And I was starting to see myself the way that he had made me. And this journey changed everything for me. I know that I would not be the mom, the wife, the woman, the daughter, the friend, the leader that I am without this business. And I think back to so many things where I'm like, what if our sponsor, mine and Courtney's sponsor, is the same? What if Julie hadn't shared the gift of 31 with me? What if she had said to herself, I think I would rather have her as a hostess. And then, she tried to flip the party on me. Like, what if she had not shared the mission of 31 that made me say yes to this company was because it was built on Proverbs 31? Like, what if she hadn't have shared that? And I, in the field, was so passionate about sharing the business because I thought, you're someone's answer to a prayer that you don't even know about. Like, you're someone's answer to a need that they might have. And it's not up to us to define who that person looks like, or if they look perfect for a 31 consultant, or if they've said that they need income. There are so many things in this business that offer to so many different aspects of life that you can't even put on paper. I see a lot of you shaking your head and talking about friendships. And I have to laugh because my first conference, I literally got in a van with 4 women that I'd never met and drove 14 hours to Disney World. And the woman drove like 90 the whole way to Florida. And I kept thinking, this is how I go. Like, this is it. Like, I'm going to be on Dateline, and it's going to be about this girl that joined a direct selling company and didn't make it back home. But I look back at that and I'm like, I did so many crazy things because of this journey, but every leap of faith, every fear that I faced led me to something so much bigger and brighter. So as I pursued the business and really stepped into who I felt like God had called me to be, I started to pursue a heavy passion for leadership. And I'll tell you that I've sponsored out of many different angles. I've sponsored out of, someone saying things at a party, or someone sharing that they're interested in making extra money. Like, I feel like I've sponsored in a lot of different aspects, but for me, I really treated this when I was a consultant in the field as like a mission field. Like, just who can I impact? That's up to them to say yes or no. It's up to me to offer it. And so I just became so passionate about thinking, like, how many people can I share this with? Not how many people can I here say yes? How many people can I add to my team? I just started asking, like, how many people can I share this with? Because this is a gift. This is an incredible opportunity. And I have been a coach in the direct selling industry for 7 years now, and coached even outside of 31. And I am learning, nobody else is built like us. Like, 31 is really special. And we have something that I am so protective over. And so having like all of you on here share your story and how 31 is impacting you is just a reminder to how powerful that opportunity is to share that. This company has given me the ability to dream in a way that I didn't even know was possible. I know that as like little kids, sometimes your parents are like, dream big, or you think about the Princess House dreams and all those things like that, but I think as you get older and you realize that life is not that easy, you start to lose the sight of what that feels like to have faith like a child and to dream the way that kids do. And this business taught me that. And so being able to walk away from my career and do 31 full time was something I never imagined. And I could list all the things that 31 did for me. But when I tell you that it changed everything about who I am as a person, that's all because someone chose to dream big and say, yeah, I'm going to share the business opportunity. And that is how my life was connected to the business. And so I never dreamed that I would never be a leader with the company. I'm a lifer, and I'm all in 31. I bleed pink. I'm not going anywhere. And I have never I don't even know what life looks like without 31. Started at 20. So I'm like, I don't even know how to function without it. But I'll just share with you, as Jenny kind of touched on earlier, our business, 31 as a company, has been through a lot of changes, and we've navigated, a recession and economy changes and a pandemic and inflation and all of these things. And I look back at that for so many different reasons, and I'm just like, gosh, we've overcome so much. Excuse me, but the core of who we are at 31 hasn't change, because that's all of us. That's all the women that is a part of the business. And so just to kind of shed some light on how I ended up on this side, in case you weren't at conference, as I said, I'm super passionate about what this company offers and the way that it touches people's lives. And so I'm very protective over it as well. I'm kind of like the mama bear over the field, and I constantly am going to bat for, decisions that might be made at home office and how we can support the field, and trying to advocate for our leaders and make sure that we offer the best support and resources and growth opportunities. And so as we have changed leadership and, our executive team at home office, I really became passionate about supporting that role as we transition into another season of growth, because I, like Jenny, will attest that I think this fall and next year is going to be incredible. And so I just thought, what better way to support the field and help champion that growth, that entire launch plan to Ignite, than to help home office and become a part of it. So leaving my team in an organization that I've spent 15 years building was one of the hardest things that I have ever done. And I still cry about it when I talk about it, because my team and my leaders have been my lifeline for 15 years. They are my very best friends. But as a leader in this industry and someone who believes not only in the company, but in the power of direct sales, knowing how much my life has been changed and watching thousands of others as well, I really wanted to help champion what this next chapter looks like. And so I applied for a field position at home office, and I knew it was crazy and literally put on the email, I know this is insane, but I, as a senior executive director, would love to be considered to come over and partner with home office to support our field and our leaders that I'm so crazy passionate about and love so much. And I was so thankful, because they were just like, yeah, this makes sense. Let's do this. So I left the field as a consultant in June and come over to the home office side, and I work in field development. And so my role was literally doing this, which literally this is my job, and get to spend evenings and days with leaders and consultants like you and talk about the gift of 31. So I hope more than anything that you can be inspired to dream really big, because that's the overall goal for tonight. But then to remember that there is someone out there that is dreaming big for someone like you, to invite them to join you. And that so many lives can be touched by the brave decision to say yes to 31. So I just want to say thank you for saying yes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for championing the journey of 31 and intertwining it in the lives of thousands of people. And I am so proud of you, Courtney, and so thankful that you hosted this. I know this was so near and dear to your heart. So you guys have a rock star SED. I know you already know that, but I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this, because this was truly an honor to hear.
Well, thank you. I wouldn't have done this call tonight if it hadn't been for your words and lots of things kind of coming together. So it all works. So I'm so grateful. Right, you guys, isn't Hope amazing? Seriously, I'm telling you. I mean, I told you guys, I don't know if they believe me all the time. I don't know why they don't, but I tell them these things. Hope is truly, she's an exceptional human being. And we are so, 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 so lucky that she is at the home office. And that's exactly what you are. You're a champion for us. And I appreciate you. Thank you. She's the best. I feel like we don't even need to watch Cindy's video, but we will. Anyway, so great, right? Okay. So I reached out to Cindy and said, hey, Cindy, I'm doing a Dream Big call. I haven't done one of these in like 5 years. Would you get on? And she's like, girl, I would love to, but I'm so committed to these calls from the Gives auction. So she goes, but I'm so proud of you for doing this. And so how about I send you a video for your team? And I was like, yes, send a video. Okay. So we have a video from Cindy. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and share our video from Cindy. All right. This is where we have to make sure there's that income disclosure statement we shared earlier. All right, let's get this up here. Oh, that's Facebook. There's a bunch of people messaging me. That's not what we want. We want this right here. And let's hope this works.
Hello, Courtney's team. I am so excited to be coming to you. Here we are. Almost fall is going to be launching any day. And I cannot believe that we are ready for another big fall holiday season. It seems to come around super fast. And I just get excited because I know it's our biggest season of the year. So I just wanted to come to you and celebrate all that you've already.
Uh-oh. What happened? What if I click the X? A network error caused. Oh, hold on. Oh, gosh. All right, hold on, guys. All right, hold, please. Let me go into my,
It might be your connection, Court.
hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go into, hold on. I'm gonna go into my original, let me see if I can pull up the actual video. Let's try this.
Hello, Courtney's team. I'm so
Can you
excited
guys
to
see
be
that?
coming to you. Here we are. Almost fall is.
You have
Okay,
to
wait a
share your
second.
screen again.
Can you guys see it?
You have to share your screen again.
No, we can hear it, but we can't see it yet. There you go.
Let's see if this works. I went back in the original email.
Going to be launching any day. And I cannot believe that we are ready for another big fall holiday season. It seems to come around super fast. And I just get excited because I know it's our biggest season of the year. So I just wanted to come to you and celebrate all that you've already accomplished this year, and to celebrate all that our home office has been accomplishing and what they're doing and how they've been preparing for you to have an amazing season. So not only do we have great products, we have a great catalog, we have some new innovative things happening in the product space. And I know that you are going to be so excited to share these with your customers. So I just thought I would come to you and, celebrate you, help you get excited about the season, but also to think about what's your plan? What is it that you want to accomplish this season? I know some of you may fly by the seat of your pants in your business. Others of you have specific goals and things that you want to do every single day in your business. But I want to encourage you to figure out what season has been your most exciting or successful season in your business. And I want you to think back to what led up to that. Was it that you were spending time in your business every single day? Was it that you were reaching out to a lot of customers and talking with them? Or maybe it was being in person with them and building those relationships. Think back to that season that you want to either beat or you want to duplicate. And to really think about, how did you show up in your business? How planful were you? What did sales look like? What did recruiting and sponsoring new team members look like? What did supporting your team look like in that season? And to really think about how you want to, do those activities again, how you want to engage and be excited and have fun in your business this fall season. So whether you want to come up with a plan and put it in an Excel document, or you're just going to write down a few notes on what that looks like, really having that in front of you is going to be important. So thinking about, how many parties is that? How many new customers or new insiders does that look like? So if you want to have 4 parties a month, whether that's for the first week of the month, and then you take the rest of the month to close, book, and focus on your team. Maybe it's 4 parties with 1 a week. Maybe it's 2 a week. Whatever it is, figure that out. And then try to get at least half of your insiders to be new. Yes, it's easy to go back to some of those amazing insiders, that you've had before, and they can definitely help fill up half your calendar. But I want to really encourage you to reach out to some of those customers that you've built relationships with, those new customers, and to ask her about being an insider. This is the perfect time. Tell her that she's going to help all of her friends to be able to get some of the fall items, the new products, and for her to be one of those that you know is going to love some of our insider exclusives. Think about those who are traveling. You see her social media, you know if she likes to travel and if she's going to want a piece of that luggage for half price or as an exclusive. So really be intentional about coming up with how many new insiders. So let's say over the next 3 months, you want to have 4 parties a month, right? And so that's 3 times 4 is 12. So that's 12 parties. We want at least 6 of those to be new insiders, new people that have never hosted with you before, that you have reached out specifically to help join you and your fall season and to make it successful. What's going to happen is those 6 new insiders are going to bring a whole slew of customers. Let's say it could be 10. But let's just say 5 to be conservative customers joining your business, your VIP group, your potential insiders, your potential team members. Think about what if you got like 3 of those 30 to join your team and another 3 to 6 to be a booking for the fall season, the holiday season, or even winter. So really thinking about how you're going to focus on newness is going to help set you up for success. And then also remind yourself of all those activities that you know helped you have your best season, and think about how you're going to duplicate and engage in your business in that way. So those are just a couple of ideas to really help you to, have a successful fall season. Make sure that you are showing up often, telling stories. Don't forget, tell your why. If you don't have a why bag, hopefully you've heard I am a huge proponent of the why bag. And if you've not used the why bag in a while, or you've not updated your why bag since we've gone to a lot of social online parties, update that why bag. And maybe it's photos, maybe it's a physical bag, maybe it's a live video, maybe it's a video that you add to your party post. So really thinking about sharing your why. And I'll tell you the number one reason we do that is so that people feel like that they are supporting your why. They're not just buying another bag. They're not just supporting corporate home office 31. They're supporting you. They're supporting your why, your family. And that makes a difference in how much they spend, if they want to book a party or if they want to join your team. So that would be my last piece of advice or tip, is to make sure that you've got your why incorporated into your fall party script. All right. Well, thanks, Courtney, for having me. I hope you guys have a great meeting, a fabulous fall and holiday season, and we will talk to you soon.
Yay. All right. So thank you, Cindy. Okay, guys. So I know, wasn't it so fun to be able to have her on the call, even though it was just a video, but still we'll take it, right? All right. So I just want to thank you guys all for showing up tonight, being a part of tonight's call that has gone almost 2 hours. How about that? That's a lot of dreaming big. I was thinking in my mind an hour and a half, but boy, we really did it. Well, it's way past my bedtime. We're going to do a couple of raffles as we wrap up the call, but I also just wanted to let you guys know that you will be, some of you over the next week or two, you're going to be getting an invitation to participate. Remember how Beth talked about this Rising Stars program? Well, I've kind of revamped it. It's from the way back. And I offered to partner with my leadership team to kind of show them how I did this program. We've revamped it, renamed it. It's called Elevate, and we're super excited about what the program is going to look like. So there's several of you who will probably be receiving invitations from your leaders to participate. And I would really encourage you to do that. If you were inspired on this call to strengthen your business in any capacity, I would definitely encourage you to take part. If you are not, don't receive an invitation from your leader, it doesn't mean that we don't want you to be a part of the call. So I would say if that doesn't happen, you don't get that, and you really feel compelled that you want to be a part of it, reach out to your upline director or me and let me know, and we'll make sure that you're plugged in to an Elevate group, because we want anybody who wants to be able to participate. But we've got our eyes on some of you guys, because we know. All right, so we're super excited. But Shauna, bring it out, girl. Let's do 4 more.
Okay. Here we go. If
All
anybody
right.
left the call, you have to be present to win. So if I call a name and you're not on here, we're gonna draw again.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Catherine's iPhone with a C. Do we know who that is?
Catherine with
Catherine,
the
are
C.
you on here? Yeah.
All right, Catherine needs to send her name so I know who to send this gift card to.
Doesn't pop up in the chat. We'll just spin again.
Okay, go ahead and pull
I
another
think
one.
some people jumped off, so.
That's okay. Not many though. We've still got a good number hanging in there.
And next up, this is another Tina's iPad, T-E-N-A.
Tina's iPad. All right, who's Tina?
Tina, are you still on here?
I am, but I'm not sure how to send you anything.
Tina, what's your last
What's
name?
your last name?
Bass, B-A-S-S.
All right, gotcha, girl. That's how you're listed in the back office, in the back office, in the virtual office, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next one.
Next up is Janae Kristen.
Is she
She's
on?
still on here? Yeah, well, she shows she's on here.
Oh, she
Janae,
is.
are
I
you on
see her
here?
popping up on the side. I see. Got it.
Okay.
Okay, number 4.
Sammy Feltner. Whoop,
Woo!
whoop.
Go,
on here.
Sammy. Go, Sammy. All right, and one more. We'll make number 5.
Here we go. Stacy. Is it Pewitt? Is that how you say your last name?
Yeah, our
I'm sorry.
Stacy P. I
Our
love
Stacy.
it.
It is
Yes.
exactly how you say my last name. You are in charge of always saying my name.
Yay.
I'm always
So
scared I'm gonna say 'em wrong.
congratulations. Well, congratulations, guys. And thank you guys again so much for being on the call tonight. So I just wanted to remind you as we leave the call to really think about all the things you heard tonight, be inspired to dream big. There's this phrase they talk about, the 3 C's in life, and they say it's choice, chance, and change, that you have to make the choice to take the chance if you want to see a change. And so I would kind of think about what that means to you in your 31 business. And if you're totally content with exactly where you are and what you're doing, and you're like crushing all your dreams and your goals, then girl, keep doing it. But if you feel like you want to make the choice to take a chance, to make some kind of a change, this is the time. And just like Jenny said and Hope said, I also I can feel it. I've been with 31 long enough that you can kind of feel the undercurrent. You can feel when there's growth on the horizon. I've seen it happen. I've been a part of it. I'd like to say that I was like part of the cause of it. I feel like, and I feel like we're right there, guys. There's amazing things about to happen. So really, truly, thank you guys so much for being a part. And we're going to talk again soon. But yes, thank you guys so much, and have a good night and sleep tight, sweet dreams. All right, guys. Thank you.
Everyone. Thanks,
Bye,
Courtney.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.